finally have watched Weak Hero Class Season 2. Oh my god! Now, before I talk about this season, if you want to see my reaction to Weak Hero Class Season 1 and Season 2, all episodes are up on the Patreon. All of them, okay? So go check that out if you want to see it. Really fun reacting to it, honestly. You know, especially with the action scenes, they got me hyped. You know, sad scenes, things like that. Recently finished Bloodhounds also. But yeah, go check those out. I'm starting to think that reacting to K-dramas is a lot more fun than just watching them on my own. I think romance ones I like to watch on my own because I'm like, oh my god, like I get to chill in my bed and just watch two people fall in love, like, oh my god, no, that's never gonna happen to me. But like action ones, way more enjoyable while I'm reacting, because you know, I don't know, when I'm reacting I get like a whole different type of energy in me. Pause. But let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about Season 2. So again, I might get into slight spoilers, maybe, I don't know. I'll try not to spoil too much, but all right. So I watched all of it in one day, okay? I made sure I had a lot of time that day. So then I watched it all in one day, so I got to see the story full out. No what's it called, cliffhangers. No cliffhangers, okay? Anytime there was a cliffhanger that happened, I just watched the next episode, okay? There was no waiting for next week or the next day or whatever. So Season 1 to me was almost perfect. Pretty much 9.9 out of 10. Super good. Characters are well written. The choreography for the fights were super good. Like, to be honest, when I watched it last year, it became my favorite K-drama. Now, if you don't know, I've only seen like 9. Okay, I've only seen like 9 or 10 K-dramas. I'm still a newbie, but when I watched Weak Hero Class 1, I was like, okay, this is my favorite K-drama right now. It was just perfect, pretty much perfect, okay? So coming into Season 2, I had very high expectations. I think we all had high expectations because we all love Season 1. Now, Season 2, to me, did not reach the levels of Season 1, but it was still really good. I gave it like an 8.5. I think I'm gonna rate it a little bit higher, like a 9 out of 10. Because I think that Season 1 was just so perfect. It was so good. So it was going to be hard for Season 2 to kind of match that, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't good at all. It was really good, really phenomenal. And yeah, so just talking about the characters, you know, we had Shion, obviously, you know, him starting off not wanting to fight, making a promise that he wasn't going to fight anymore, and then him eventually being pushed to fight. And then when he actually fought, now he did fight like I think it was like episode 2 in the show, and that's when he actually started to like fight for the first time. But then his second fight, when he was fighting, I forgot his name, but the Valorant looking dude with the glasses, whatever his name is, Wolf or whatever they called him, when he fought him, that's when he was apologizing to Suho, because he was like, "Yo, Suho, I'm sorry, I said I wasn't gonna fight again," which I was a little confused because you fought earlier, you know, but so this is technically your second fight since you made that promise, but I guess the first fight didn't even finish, so I guess it doesn't really count. But anyways, he apologized for that. So seeing how he got kind of pushed into a position where he has to fight again, kind of makes sense for the story. That's kind of something I predicted. Like, he made that promise not to fight again. It was pretty obvious he was gonna have to fight again, okay? So that scene was a little bit emotional too, because he was so very much into that promise. He was like, I'm not doing it, and then eventually he had to protect his new friends. Now, speaking on the new friends, okay, I think the new characters were pretty good. You had Juntae, you had Go Hyun-tak, and you had Baku, which I called him Bakugo throughout the whole show when I was reacting to it. Them three. Now, I will say it took me a little bit longer to get accustomed to these characters, because I feel like with this show, and it happens with some other shows too, where you have Season 1 where all these characters that we had and falling in love with those characters, not falling in love, but getting an attachment to them, and then going on to Season 2 where you have the main character with a bunch of new characters, right? And it happens a lot in different shows where the next season will have the main character be with a whole new cast of people, and we have to kind of get used to them too. It's like Squid Game 2, where you had a whole new cast of people and you have to sort of, you know, build an attachment to those characters Instead of some other shows where you have characters from season 1 go on to season 2 together, so we already have that attachment to them. So I had to build an attachment to them. Juntae immediately gave me PTSD because he had glasses, he looked like a nerd. Boom suck, you know what I'm saying? We all know what happened in season 1, so I was getting PTSD, but then he proved himself to me that, you know, he was an actual cool dude. And also his character arc with him being cowardly at the start, and then I mean he was only really much cowardly at the start, and then he did the whole thing with giving the phones back pretty much quickly. I think it was episode 2 he did it, or at the end of episode 1. So he kind of got over that cowardliness mad quick, but you could see throughout the show that he kept helping them. He tried to do his best to show that he wasn't a coward. He tried to involve himself in the fights that they were doing. It was interesting. His character was really, really nice. I like him. Go Hyun-tak, he was cool too. He was probably my least favorite out of the 3 new friends, only because I feel like the other 2 had more of a story arc to them. Apart from him, he didn't have too much. It was mostly just him and the Valorant guy with the glasses, him and him fighting constantly and trying to one up each other throughout the show. But that was pretty much it. We didn't get too much detail about their fight where he got his knee messed up. We didn't get too much of that. It was literally just that one scene, so I wish we got more backstory to that. And then Baku with the whole thing with Baekjin. The one thing I have a complaint about with them two is that I feel like more of their backstory should have been shown. There was only really like 3 different separate scenes where their backstory was shown, and it was only like a minute long. I feel like they should have had a good 3-5 minute section of any of the episodes where they went into their backstory and we really understood why Baekjin became the way he did. Because then it would have made that kind of relationship between the two matter more, and I would have been more attached to it. I still have somewhat attachment to it, because it was pretty much the main plot of the story, but it could have been done better. Okay, and I feel like if it was done better, it would have brought up my score a lot for this season. But that was definitely one of the weak points. So Hyun-tak and the relationship between Baekjin and Bakugo, like their backstory, are the 2 complaints I have for the story. But overall, it was good. It was really, really, really good. It met my expectations pretty much for the most part, and I think the storyline was pretty good also. I think that season 2 had much less of a serious tone, not necessarily in the plot, but in a lot of scenes at the beginning, especially when they were kind of getting together as friends. There was a lot of unseriousness to it, and it was a good change of pace compared to season 1, where it was just, you know, you had the chill funny scenes, you know, once in a while, but it was pretty much serious throughout, especially with the turmoil in the friendship between Bumsuk, Suho, and Shion in season 1 that was going on. So with here, the friend group was pretty much all working together for the most part. So it was a nice change of pace, because if it was serious throughout season 1 and all serious throughout season 2, like, bro, I'm tired at that point. Like, I'm tired. So to have that less seriousness in season 2 definitely was a nice change of pace. And then it got serious, you know, as the show went on. But it was good. It was good. It was good. I think season 1 is better. I don't know if they confirmed season 3, but season 3 will be interesting, especially with what happens at the end and who returns. So to see a season 3 be announced will have me excited to see like where things are going to go with this new friend group, plus the you know, what happens at the end. So that's going to be fire. But I kind of just wanted to point out that I did react to the show. So again, it's on the Patreon, both seasons, but also wanted to get my thoughts on here. I did give it on my episode 8 reaction to season 2, what I thought about the show, but I also wanted to make a video here for YouTube for those who aren't able to support on the Patreon, so then y'all can at least know my thoughts on Weak Hero season 2. But yeah, bro, that's it. I didn't want to yap too long, but I think it was really good. This isn't some type of in-depth story guide, not guides, story like analysis or whatever. Again, this is just my opinion. You know, don't take it like I'm this person who would like, you know, knows what a good story is and all that. I'm just kind of giving y'all my opinion and some of the critiques I have for the story. So hopefully they do announce a season 3. That'll be tough. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, because I did.